Good evening and welcome back to quantumbox presents TEKKIT. Quite a bit has happened since episode 5. I mean, it's been weeks, it's been a couple of months actually since my last upload. And I did record this episode previously, but it didn't turn out very well, so I'm re-recording it now. So let me just catch you up on what I've been up to off camera. So the first things first is I found the stronghold. Which is good. It was full of blazers and I killed quite a few of them in order to get their rods. It would have been quite difficult, but the musket is a seriously good tool to have, and I pretty much used it to kill a lot of the blazers. We can always go back and get more rods, but we got as many that we needed. We needed 8. I came back with 10 and then I went back a second time. We need 4 per ender tank, which is... so we managed to make 2 ender tanks, actually, I should say, which I've got here, and those are going to be used to harness the oil this episode. However, there is something else that we need. Because the oil is so far away, we're going to need to use a chunk loader to keep that area of the world loaded, because we're so far away that the game won't load it on its own. So we're going to have to make one of these, which is a chunk loader by the mod called Chicken Chunks. It's not too bad. So we need 4 obsidian, 2 diamonds and a book. I'm sure we can make that. Alright, there's our chunk loader. And that doesn't require any fuel, which is good. There's several different ones inside the game. But the chunk loader by Mine Factory requires fueling, and I can't be bothered, and the chunk loader by Chicken Chunks does not. It just sits there and does its job, which is nice. The Steve's Carts one, I'm not sure what that does, but this one will do quite nicely. So other than that, we've got our ender tanks, we've got our chunk loader, so now we can go and harness oil. We just need to go and get a pump. To clarify, we need more ender pearls. I only have 1 left. I spent 2 making the 2 ender tanks, and I've just spent 1 making the chunk loader. So we can get oil to our base, but we can't get the water that we also need for our refinery to keep it cool. So we're going to need more ender pearls, and this is the problem that I've come across. This is the bottleneck in our playthrough. Ender pearls cannot be crafted. They only come from dead endermen, which means I'm going to have to kill an awful lot of them, because a lot of things require a material called resonant ender. Which, if you would have a look here, let me just search for it. This stuff here, resonant ender, there's a bucket of it here. The only way to get it is by using a magma crucible, which is a device used to destroy many things and turn them into liquid like redstone. You need to destroy ender pearls, and they can be crafted using equivalent exchange. However, that's not properly implemented in this mod pack. So they only come from dead endermen, so we need more dead endermen if I'm not going to spend hours and hours doing it. So we did find a way to do that off camera. What I did was I made a EXP extractor, which is something that you use to extract your XP levels from a character. That then fills a bucket, and you can then put the bucket into a tank, which is what we've got here. This is a tank of mob essence, which is the fluid that you drain from yourself. We've got a full 3 tanks of it, which is quite a bit. We can then pump that into an auto spawner to create endermen, so we can spawn in legally in this playthrough our own mobs, which is pretty interesting. In order to set the machine, we need to capture one with a safari net, which I also did. These are just a right click tool. You go up to the mob that you want, you right click it and it captures them. I also managed to get a creeper, but I don't think we're going to need that. So we have our enderman, we just need to build an auto spawner. So which one should we do first? Should we harness the oil first, or should we start creating our own enderman? Let's have a look. Actually, no, I want to harness the oil first. That's a really important thing, and I've been going on about it for ages. I made a few more gold chests, as you can see, just for storage. So what are we going to need? We're going to need our ender tanks. Actually, we're going to take 1. I don't want to risk losing these because they're so valuable. So we're going to take 1 with us. And then we are going to need some waterproof piping. Okay, so we have 22 fluid pipes. We have an ender tank. We're also going to need some redstone torches. We'll take a few of those. We're going to need some redstone engines. Do we have any spare? Oh, excellent. We have 2 spare redstone engines. We're going to need a mining well. Or should I say a pump. But we already have those down there. Let's go and, I tell you what, let's go and dig up the one that we placed previously, because we won't be needing it anymore. Here's the old pipeline that I was putting in to harness the very, very small amount of oil that was down here. It's not really worth doing at the moment, sorry, anymore, because of, well, we found a massive oil well in the desert a kilometre away, so now that we have the ender tanks, it's not really worth keeping this going. So we'll just take this back. So there's 2 steam engines that we've now got that we didn't have before. Those are really useful. We'll have the cobblestone, the 2 torches, but it's really the pump that we're after. So we'll have that. So now we've got 2 redstone engines to power the pump. We're not going to use Stirling engines because you have to top them up with fuel, and that's a whole other nightmare of stuff. Especially at dealing with remote, so you'd have to remote control your engines. Yeah, I can't be bothered. So we're just going to use, all it would do by setting up Stirling engines would increase the rate at which we can receive oil, but we won't be using that much of it anyway, not at one period of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the pump up with 2 redstone engines, 2 torches, the pipe work, and then going into an ender tank, and we need to put down the chunk loader as well. We've got quite a bit to get through this episode, so it might be a bit of a long one. I'll try and keep it short anyway. But if it isn't, then it isn't. So I'm just going to go to sleep anyway, and then once it's daytime, we're going to go out to the desert. We're going to set up the pump, set up the ender tank, come back, go into the pumping station, and then start receiving our oil direct into our volcano base. Once that's done, we're going to build a refinery, and then we'll be making some delicious petrol, which we can use to power the rocket. Remember, we are aiming to go to the moon in this playthrough, and then eventually Mars, but we need fuel to do that. So let's go to bed. So we've got our chunk loader, we've got pipes, ender tank, engines, pump. I think we're good, so I'll see you out in the desert. Alright, here we are. We're at the mega oil field, as I call it, and we need to make our pumping platform. So it's just going to be out of cobblestone. It's not going to be very pretty, but it's going to function. We are running out of time. I don't want to be building this thing out into the night because creepers will come and sand has a very low blast resistance. So let's get this thing built. I hope I have enough cobblestone on me actually. Alright. And we need, is it going to start? Yeah, there's the tube. Okay. So what this is going to do is it's going to go straight down into our oil. And it should stop once it reaches a liquid. Is it going to stop? Oh, I wonder if it just goes... yeah, there we go. So as soon as it enters into a fluid block, it just stops. So we need one here, one here. We're going to put redstone here and here, because these will power the redstone engines, which are going to be here and here. So then now we're going to start pumping. However, this doesn't have anywhere to go. So I believe we now need to put... I am conscious about where I'm standing. I think it's going to pump straight into there. I think. When it decides it's got enough energy to. Unless it has to come out the top. I wonder if it has to come out the top. It does on the mining. Oh no, there we go. Right, excellent. Okay, so we've got oil. I'm quite excited actually. It's been leading up to this for quite a way. So as soon as it's pumped out that one block of oil, as you can see, the pipe will go lower down until it hits the next one. It's then pumped that out, so it'll go down to the next one. So this now needs to go into the ender tank, which goes here. Alright, that looks kind of cool actually, doesn't it? That does look cool. So is that going to... So it's gonna, I think that's receive, isn't it? Yeah, blue is receive. Okay, so we've got our pumping station up here. I would lower it back down to the ground, but there's no point really, and it means it just keeps out the way of mobs and stuff. So, so this tank should be full soon, and then this pipe, once this pipe is full, it'll stop pumping. So we now need to set down our chunk loader, which I'm just going to put down here. Radius 2, 1. Show lasers. So what's that going to do? Let me just upgrade that to 2. Okay, so that should be plenty then. So the nearest centre of a chunk is here. and if we set it to, say if it's one chunk, it's just this square here, which I guess only just keeps this in, but I want to make sure it all works perfectly, so I'm just going to set that to 2 anyway. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. So this is now all being loaded by the chunk loader. We're going to hide the lasers, and our pumping rig is now set up and complete, so we just need to go back home now and put down the other ender tank, and we should be good, and we'll have oil at the base. So I've just got to jump down now. It looks pretty good actually, doesn't it? Let's get out of here actually. There we go. Excellent. So we got another pearl. So we've got 2 pearls now. That's really, really good. That means we'll have enough for 2 more ender tanks, which allows us to collect oil. Sorry, collect water the easy way, without having to put in 1,000 blocks of bloody pipework from the ocean. Alright, and we're back. God, that took ages. So it took us 2 days and a night to go over there and place everything down and place everything back. So luckily enough, we did come back with 2 extra ender pearls. We came across 2 endermen, killed them both, and they both dropped pearls, which is really, really good. Anyway, we now need to create an extra cobblestone. Sorry, we need to create an. We'll keep the Stirling engines actually, and we will place. We need 2 more redstone engines, don't we? Bollocks, we don't have any. Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to place down the oil. So our mob essence is here. Where should we put the oil? The refinery is going to be quite big. I'm going to put it here. That should do. Set to white, 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 so it's full of oil. Oh, okay, so we don't need a redstone engine for that. So our oil is now being extracted from the tank, but it's being automatically filled up by the pump over at the drilling rig, which is very, very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to place 2 tanks here. So this will now fill up full of oil, very, very slowly. That'll hold 32 buckets worth. So this will now drain down until it's completely. Yeah, it is filling up quite slowly, isn't it? That's fine though, that's fine. So in order to make what we need next, we are going to need some more redstone engines. So we do need to make those. So I'll make some redstone engines, then I'm going to make a refinery. So let's get to it. So that's the 2 redstone engines that we need. Now we're going to need a refinery, which is this thing. We're going to need 3 tanks, 2 redstone torches, and a diamond gear, which is quite expensive, so let's get to making that too. Alright, so there's the refinery and the 2 redstone engines, so we can now look at piping this up. Oh no, balls. We still need to harness water, of course, don't we? What a pain in the arse. Okay, that's fine actually. We'll place our refinery here. It's quite a big piece, isn't it? So our oil tank is now full. Ender tank is still going naturally. We then need to place. Let's have a look. One of these here. We need a wooden waterproof pipe, which you don't have. Okay, let me go and get one of those. In case you didn't realise, or in case I didn't say, in fact, you need a waterproof wooden pipe to receive things out of. Whoops. Oh, hang on. Let me just move the refinery. Right. Okay. That goes there. That goes there. We need another redstone torch down. That's going to power the redstone engine. Then the refinery can be put down here, and that's going to pump oil into the right hand side of the refinery. It uses oil on one side and then it needs water in the other to keep it cool. Let's see, or is it going to fill up both sides? I wonder. Don't think it is. Is it? Oh, why is it doing that? That's a pain in the ass. Why? Why is it doing that? Why are you doing that? Is that okay? Or is it water that goes in the front? Let me figure that out later, actually. We need to get the water set up. Okay. Oh. No, that's fine. If it only goes in one side, that's fine. That shouldn't be pumping anymore. So I'll just fill one bucket, I think. Yeah, so it's half filled one side. Right, let me go and sort out the water. It's the exact same thing as the oil rig. We just need to build a pump and 2 more ender tanks and we should be good. So I'll see you when I set that up. Okay, I think we have everything that we need. I'm just going to put some of this stuff back. Alright, we've got what we need. We just need to sleep and then go and set it up. Okay, so here we have the water set up now, and this uses a blue combination on our ender tank. We will be needing water for quite a few things, and it's slowly filling up. Turns out you don't actually need it for the use of the refinery; it doesn't overheat. So I was wrong. However, do you need water for a Stirling engine? I don't think you do you? I tell you what, I'm going to put them down anyway. I tell you what, we will replace this water actually, and we'll put it somewhere that's more appropriate. Actually, or do we? Or should we? No, actually, we will keep it there. I wasted some water there, but that's not a problem actually. Yeah, we'll place that back down. Okay, so we just need some coal and some other stuff. We'll place a wooden pipe here. That will be powered, and this is then going to output delicious petrol into our petrol tanks, which can go. Oh, let's have a look. Actually, no, we don't want it to go that far, do we? We'll just have it over here. That wants to be nice and high tank actually. So we just need some coal, and we'll put some coal in the Stirling engines, and we'll get the refinery set away, and it will start producing some delicious petrol. So it's only taken us 6 episodes. It has taken us a while, reasonably. We could power it with steam dynamos. Actually, that might be an idea. I don't know, but for the sake of proof of concept right now, tell you what, we'll put a block of coal in. For proof of concept, just to make sure that it is actually working. Oh. It doesn't work. Oh balls, you have to... Okay, you have to power it with a redstone torch. So a block of coal would have been okay, but never mind. That's alright. We are learning by doing this. It has been a very long time since I've done this. Actually, that doesn't need to be like that. That needs to be there, and then put the fuel in. Okay, so the refinery is now working. We're now changing oil into. Do we need to have a switch pipe on here? I think we do need to have a switch pipe. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that for the time being, so we don't waste any oil. Oil is a finite resource, so I just don't want to waste any. But our refinery is now converting oil into delicious petrol. We now have 84, so we have 0.1 of a bucket. So it's quite slow to work, I think, because we're using two Stirling engines and they are both cold. And once we put combustion engines in, we'll have the refinery producing fuel that will then be pumped back into the combustion engines, speeding it up, and we'll have a really, really good turnover of fuel to oil. But this yellow piss-coloured liquid in here is what I've spent the past 6 episodes working towards. It's taken me a lot of hours, and I'm to be honest, I am pretty proud of actually getting it. Holy shit, this episode, the recording is like over an hour long, but it won't be that long when I edit it up. But yeah, this is where we're here, guys. We have the fuel. We just need to start doing something with it. We need to build a rocket ship, and we need power armor, and there's still a lot of work to be done. But thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far, I hope you did watch the full episode, but it's probably going to be a long one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.